How's it going, guys? Coffee here. Today I wanted to go over how to unlock Kingsmarch very quickly. I've gotten to the point where I now have recombinators. I am working on getting the Atlas runners available through Isla, even though this appears to just be like the last thing you could possibly be getting in the game. I do have recombination up and going. And first things first, when you first start your city again, you do want to talk to Johan. You can talk to him in Lion's Watch or wherever. When you come in here, it's going to cost a very little amount of gold to get everything started at the very beginning. You will end up having to make town improvements here. You'll get to build this. You'll get to build the recruiter, and then you'll want to talk to Ralph here. And for your first people that you end up picking up, the one role out of everything that's in the town here is you don't actually need to interact with shipping at all when it comes to actually growing your city, or your settlement rather. The only things you really need to be focusing on early on are going to be mining and farming and then smelting. These are going to be the three cores of how you're gathering all of your resources here. So when you're first going through your recruitment cost to reroll at the very beginning will be very cheap. It's like under 50 gold per reroll. So you want to just make sure you're rolling through until you're finding people that match the roles that you need. So at the very beginning, you're going to need your miners and you're going to need your farmers. And then once you have them, you'll improve the town as much as you can, and you'll get to a point where it's going to ask for a resource that you're not capable of mining yet. Or it's going to ask for a resource that you're not capable of getting yet. So, for example, at a certain point, I was stuck here to where it got me to the point where it was asking for bismuth bars. So once you actually have your stuff lined up, hopefully you were clicking this at least a little bit during the campaign, or you popped in here to start mining things, because it does take a little bit of time. I did end up going to sleep, and I just woke up. So after 7 hours of sleep, everything is actually finished on this end. But what you can do is you go over to this mining information board here. You click on the manage workers button, and you want to put your good miners in here. For any role, you can put people that aren't of that role in there. You're just going to get a much worse efficiencies out of the workers, of course. So once you have your miners set up, you want to make sure that you come up here and you set up farming. So when you first get your farm plots, you're going to get 3 farm plots right away. It is going to cost quite a bit of gold. Everything about getting the farming set up at the very beginning is pretty much just about setting up gold. But with your first 3 plots, what you're going to want to do is I highly encourage you actually plant wheat, corn, and pumpkin. So instead of just planting all of it being on one single resource, you want to make sure that you plant it for everything, because you will end up needing to use these things later on in order to upgrade things and unlock things. So once you have your farming set up for all 3 plots, at a certain point, and when it comes to unlocking your smelter here, it's going to prompt you. It's going to need wheat, or it's going to want corn, or it's going to want pumpkins, depending on whatever you want to do. So once you actually get these, then you can kind of push this. So what you want to be doing is it's about maybe every 30 minutes to 45 minutes. You want to come make sure that you are cycling back into Kingsmarch here and double check the status of your bars. You can always click on, you can always invite Johan to your hideout as well. So if you want to check the status of things, you can go ahead and click Manage Town from here. You can see what's going on, how much people are being paid, how long until the treasury gets emptied. So you can do that all from here, which is really nice. Again, and then you see the thaumaturgic dust, which is required for recombinating items. And then, again, for your bars here, you can kind of see when you're ready. So the good idea is to basically just focus on everything that's around and ensure that you get to the point you push the upgrades on everything until it's asking for a resource that you're not capable of gathering yet. And then whenever you get to that point, then you either need to upgrade your mining or melting to match that point. In regards to the farming, as long as you planted all 3 of the foods that I recommended at the very beginning, then by the time that mining and smelting is asking for corn or wheat, you will have it ready and available for you. In regards to the workers, shipping purely appears to be for money, and that's it. The shipments that I was able to do and able to get early on were nothing basically major. It does look like the Kalguurian ports that you can ship to, or Kalguuran rather, ports that you ship to, do offer more resources than those that, or they do offer the runes rather, where the other ports will offer you different resources. So again, if you ship to the Kalguuran cities, then you are going to get like from Ribbonfell here, you do get the runes, and then if you ship to the Nakanu here, then you're going to be getting different resources through them. You won't be getting any of the special runes that are for shipping or for doing the enchants on the weapons. So you do want to focus on these. Again, the Kalguuran cities are going to be the ones that give you the runes. But for actually unlocking your city as quickly as possible, shipping is one of the things that you actually can kind of avoid at first. So if you want to kind of just turbo push your city up as fast as possible, you don't have to worry about actually caring about your shipping stuff at all. You can just save that to do bigger shipments later. In regards to getting the gold for your things, let me go ahead and put these in here. I was going to show a thing in regards to disenchanting, but we'll actually go over that probably for another video because I don't fully have it understood yet, and I don't want to mislead people here, but we can go over what it is for. In regards to maps and getting gold, it seems like the map quality or the map quantity on the map, I mean the amount of gold that you are getting is affected by quant all the same. So I've had T16 maps here that are giving me similar or not too much more gold than white maps. So realistically, if you are just trying to get gold as fast as possible, spamming a white map strategy might honestly be the way, because the differences in the gold doesn't seem to vary that much, or does seem to swing by quite a bit, right? Like I've had T16, I've had some T16 maps that have given me maybe 8,000 or 9,000 gold, but then I've also had white maps that are giving me 2,000 to 4,000 gold. So 2,000 gold seems about to be the minimum of what you're getting here, no matter what. Pretty much from any map that you're doing, as long as you're actually like fully clearing the map. So if you do find something that's a little bit easier, or does have like extra side content in it, the good thing about this league is the gold that you are getting does appear to be dropping everywhere. So I was doing heist and I was getting gold in there. I'm sure it's the same for Delve or for Sanctum, anything like that. I feel like it's probably likely that maybe you're getting a little bit of gold. Maybe not Sanctum, because I guess you're getting the gold already for within use in the Sanctum. So I guess I don't remember what it's even called on there. But either way, just doing your maps, doing them as basically as quickly as you can. Kind of spamming your maps, making sure you keep your gold up. It does look like the gold per hour on the workers is only for workers that are actually actively working, from what I can tell, because it's saying my hourly wage on everything is only like 2,000 gold right now per hour, but the amount of workers I have is like I have like 50 or 60 workers, so that doesn't really quite make sense to me, but maybe that's just what the math checks out to, and I have a lot of workers that I don't have to pay very well right now. So that's kind of where we're at with it. In regards to the in regards to that, just do your kind of cities as fast as you can. And again, keep an eye on the Kingsmarch through Johan, who will give you the rundown on exactly how long you have until your place runs out of gold. So if you want to make sure that you're being fully efficient through the night, like what I did, I went to bed, I made sure that I had at least 10 hours of gold there to run things if I needed to. Even though, again, I know I wasn't really going to sleep 10 hours, but I wanted to be safe. So one last thing I wanted to cover in regards to mining Verisium here. I do have a lot of ore waiting to mine. I highly recommend that if your build is not already in its full endgame setup, you don't channel this further than 80%. When you do channel it to 100%, it does appear to be spawning the unique boss for it, as well as a ton of rares. So unless your build is strong enough to basically blow up everything instantly, keep in mind that you are likely to lose that Verisium ore unless you have a really, really strong build. So if you're doing maps that are behind your content, that's more than fine. But if you're doing something on tier, you might have a little bit of a issue with it. So pushing to 80% was seeming fine for me, but when I pushed to 100%, I ended up with like a crazy map. It might have just been crazy map mods, but I figured I'd throw that in there for you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and other than that, see you in the next one.